has a simple responsibility: to run a functioning government, not to shut it down.
Senate Republican leader John Thune.
This could have been avoided. It's totally unavoidable. And everybody's now asking the question, how does this end? Well, it ends when the Senate Democrats pick this bill up, passed by the House of Representatives, and vote for it.
Hundreds of thousands of federal workers have been furloughed or will be in the days ahead.
This Army vet lives near Robins Air Force Base in Georgia and says the shutdown is attached to politics, but lawmakers need to remember.
It's hard to take serious one side fighting against the next side. These are real things in the lives of people.
In New Orleans, Terrence Johns works for the USDA, where some 42,000 workers are now on furlough, and says it's hard.
Make ends meet while having to expend the cost of driving to work every day.
Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Some workers are on the job and won't be paid. The TSA and air traffic controllers are examples of that. Mail deliveries will continue. The nation's highest court says Lisa Cook can keep her job as a Federal Reserve governor, at least for now.
The Supreme Court says it won't act now on the Trump administration's efforts to fire her immediately, and instead will wait until January to hear arguments. Then it will decide if there's legal cause to take her off the job. The president claims she committed mortgage fraud. Cook denies any wrongdoing.
That's CBS's Stacey Lynn in Washington. Now to New York City, where an incinerator shaft in a 20-story high-rise apartment building in the Bronx collapsed.
We just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb. And then we just ran out the building. I'm like, I can't believe this.
There are reports a gas explosion may be to blame. Officials say there is no immediate word on any injuries. Correspondent Jim Crisula has details now on a product recall.
More than 320,000 even-flow car seats are being recalled after the Boston-based company discovered material from the headrests could result in a choking hazard. Federal officials found that pieces of foam in the headrest of certain even-flow Gold Revolve 360 Slim and Revolve 360 Slim can be accessible to a child and can increase the risk of injury.
Walmart says it plans to remove synthetic dyes and 30 other food additives from its store brands sold in this country by January 2027. It could affect about 1,000 products, from snacks to baked goods, power drinks, salad dressings, and frosting. The Dow is up 72 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
So what did your toddler bring into the house recently? How about a grenade? That story coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. 2 crashes in a stall and people avoiding State Route 167 because of a damaged girder. It all has you slogging northbound on I-5 this morning. Your travel time, Tacoma to Seattle, 2 hours, 15 minutes. That's about an hour delay. Other travel times running long, Everett to Seattle, 80 minutes, and Federal Way to Seattle, 77 minutes, both about 20 minutes longer. And construction has you slow eastbound on the I-90 bridge. Traffic brought to you by D.R. Horton. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales event starts this Saturday and runs through October 18th. Visit a D.R. Horton community today.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A 3-year-old boy makes an explosive discovery, a live World War II grenade.
The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the child was playing in the family's front yard in the town of Harline when he found, picked up, and carried the grenade into the family's home. Grant County Sheriff spokesman Kyle Foreman says
unexploded ordnance like that is a problem. An unexploded device, certainly due to its age, made it more unstable.
The Washington State Patrol Bomb Squad carefully moved the grenade to a rural area and safely disposed of it. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Investigators are trying to figure out what caused an explosion that rocked a North Bend neighborhood. It sparked a fire that tore through a house on Maloney Grove Avenue Southeast on Sunday. Neighbors tell KIRO 7 TV.
Everybody heard an explosion. The neighbor across the street sent me a text immediately. What was that?
A family of 4 escaped the fire. Firefighters rescued a dog from the second floor. A Kennewick High School student is facing attempted murder charges for allegedly plotting to shoot up a school. Police tell KIRO 7 TV the 14-year-old made detailed plans.
It was a map of Kamiakin High School with identified classrooms where he felt he was going to commit this school shooting.
A tip led police to uncover the alarming evidence, including a list of potential targets. The student is now in custody. Scam alert. The Thurston County Sheriff's Office is warning that crooks are using stolen credit cards to place massive orders of hay and then trying to resell it online. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Ottley spoke with a victim.
It started in August when a new client started ordering truckloads of hay.
We delivered about 460 bales.
They made 4 deliveries and everything went smooth until, well, it wasn't.
They were fraudulent charges.
All in all, Stephanie Kimball's ranch was out about $10,000, and they weren't the only ones hit. Thurston County sheriffs confirm it is an open case, and they are investigating.
The Seattle Mariners get a sneak peek at their potential playoff opponent.
It's a 2-out RBI single for Spencer Torkelson, and Detroit leads 1-0.
The Detroit Tigers went on to beat the Cleveland Guardians 2-1. The winner of that series comes to Seattle this Saturday for Game 1 of the American League Division Series. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing showers today with highs in the upper 60s. It's 57 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the first of the month, as Bone Thugs and Harmony would say. It's the wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Happy Wednesday to all of you. We're grateful that you listen to the Gee and Ursula Show. If you're new to the show, where you been? No, seriously, thank you for being here. And for those that come here all the time, really appreciate you being here on the show. Nick is on the board. Good morning to you, Nick.
What's up, man?
All right, and Chef, good morning. Good to have you back, Chef.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Hey, coming up here pretty soon, Luke Ducey, in about 5 minutes or so. Luke Ducey was down there in Portland. He is here in studio. We need to ask him what's going on. National Guard, will they coming? Did they push it back? All of that and more. He will be joining us right here. We got a fun show for you today, but we got an important show for you today. Let's get right to it. Top stories of the day, brought to you by Bathfitter Northwest.
Well, the federal government is shutting down for the first time since 2019 after the Senate failed to pass a government funding measure before the midnight deadline. Democrats say they will not sign off on a budget until the GOP restores expanded subsidies for people who buy insurance through the Affordable Care Act. That's Apple Health here in Washington. Without those subsidies, health insurance is expected to double for many of those who buy through the ACA or Apple Health. Democrats say they also want to restore $1 trillion in funding that the GOP cut from Medicaid and CHIP. That's the Children's Health Insurance Program under the BBB. And the GOP says we want a clean resolution. No amendments.
Yeah. And so here we are. It's the government shut down right now. There will be a lot of Americans that will be impacted by this. First off, let's just talk about federal workers. You got hundreds of thousands are either being furloughed or working without pay. That includes my daughter, who I had a conversation with this morning. Her last paycheck for sure is coming next week. That's already set, and it's going to come to her. But outside of that, there is no guarantee. So that means that folks still have to show up at TSA checkpoints, air traffic towers, and federal prisons, but their paychecks are delayed until Congress sorts all of this mess out. So if you've got friends or families in those jobs, just know that they might be feeling the squeeze, just like when I was talking to my daughter this morning, saying that the office was grim. If you all don't know, she is a federal defense lawyer, and talking about the office was looking grim. Let's talk about Social Security and Medicare checks. Will those still go out? Yes, they will. That Monday is mandatory spending, so it kind of keeps flowing. But let's just say you have an error that you want fixed. You want something done, and you need to maybe talk to a representative. Those things can be delayed. Chef always talks about national parks. Technically, will they be open? Yes, they will be. Will they be fully staffed? No, they won't be. Here's the bottom line. I think that today, and this is why today I turned off, and by the way, I won't be responding to text because I turned the text line off for me today because today is a very serious time. While it is October 1st, so many Americans are going to be impacted by this. It's frustrating. And if this stretches on for weeks on weeks, this could get painful. We're talking about, and let me be very simple and clear, we're talking about paychecks delayed, services slowed, and our national parks potentially looking like ghost towns because our lawmakers can't come to an agreement. Meanwhile, while they fight and they don't come to a resolution, everyday Americans like me and you will be carrying the weight of all of this. I'm not going to get into the blame game. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just going to say this is what is happening. There is a government shutdown. And, I'll just add one thing. I'd argue that the government shut down on January 20th because the government in this year has not been operating in the right way. You know, the three branches of government, yeah, that seems to be gone out the window. But here we are. It is definitely official.
Well, National Guardsmen began arriving in Salem and Woodburn, Oregon yesterday for a 3-day blitz training in crowd control and use of force, according to Fox 12 Portland. And Luke Ducey, you had a chance to swing down to Portland yesterday to check out, war-ravaged Portland under siege from attack by Antifa and other domestic terrorists.
Well, I was still looking for the war and the ravaging. I didn't see either of those. We'll get into those in just a second. But you just touched on the very latest headline out of all of this. There's been a delay now in the deployment of National Guard troops to Portland. Some 200 troops were supposed to be there by tomorrow. But that's been delayed a couple more days. I'm saying that air quotes. That is the quote from the government there because of administrative tasks, whatever those are. I mean, I imagine it's logistics. In other words, what are you going to do with all these troops? Where do they go? Where do they stay? How do you get them there, et cetera, et cetera? So just mobilizing these troops has now cost the federal government at least $3.8 million so far. Mm-hmm. And then they will be deployed. There'll be more costs on top of that.
Luke, you were down there for 2 days, and thank you for your coverage. We really appreciate that. I want to know, I want you to bring all of us into to a real setting. What is it you saw? Who were you talking to? Who was walking by? Bring us into the scene so therefore I get a better understanding of the National Guard being deployed.
Yeah, and the big question is, and I'm going to describe this in a second, but the big question that I have, and I know a lot of other journalists have, what are those National Guard troops going to do there? I mean, are they going to play Candy Crush on their phone? They're going to be bored, I think, for the most part. It's not what you might think it is when you hear reports or different people using this narrative, creating their own narrative and running with it, and on either side. Look, there are a lot of questions about that one block. It's not even one block we're talking about. We're talking about like 2 street corners that are catty corner. It's a really small area of Portland that we're talking about. Has there been violence there? Yes, absolutely. Federal agents and officers firing rubber bullets and pepper spray at times, protesters throwing rocks and other objects and spray painting threats on the side of the ICE facility. I saw one message that read, Molotovs melt ice. I mean, obviously, encouraging people to throw Molotov cocktails at federal officers. Yeah. That's scary stuff, that's very serious. However, I didn't see any Portland that was being ravaged like maybe the Trump administration is portraying and has said. From what I saw during that week, during the weekdays, there were like a handful of protesters. And yesterday morning, there were only one and then two who would trade off yelling at Homeland Security officers and ICE agents. Later in the morning, you'd see older folks, I would think retirees, that age, who would show up with their homemade signs, very peaceful on the sidewalk, looking for cars to honk with them in solidarity. It's during the nights and weekends when the other agitators, like here in Seattle, who wear all black and masks, they move in and they start to become a little more aggressive. And that's when the violent interactions kind of happen. But the violence is nothing like what I've seen here in Seattle during like May Day protests or things like that. I've seen more violence here than I did there. Yeah, you and I were talking earlier, G. The best interviews I got in the morning were from people who were on their morning jogs or their morning bike rides or walking the dog.
Wait. So the National Guard is coming to an area, to a block, or not even a block, where you mean to tell me that when you were boots on the ground, I had to make it sound official, when you were boots on the ground,
I like that.
There were people running, jogging, and walking their dogs?
I felt bad. Excuse me, sir.
Running
sir,
for their lives?
Sir, I know you're on your morning jog, and I hate to interrupt that. You're in the rhythm, but can I just ask you a quick question about, because I know that these people aren't necessarily engaged in either side, right? And it's a resident. It's a real reaction. Yeah, morning jog, walking the dog.
So before I let go,
right there.
Before I let you go, okay, I want to be honest with you. I'm confused. And the reason why I'm confused is because when I get on X and when I get on social media and I put in the search Portland National Guard, I get images and videos of things that's going on. What is going on during it? What am I seeing when I see that?
Yeah, so I also, so just everyone knows, all the listeners, I got up early and I would go over a lot of those videos as well, looking for, what's going on, what happened, that I missed this. A lot of those videos floating around that you're seeing on social media from mostly independent journalists, if you'll notice, a lot of those posts don't list in the body of the post a time or a day of what the video represents. So in other words, they'll post and then they repost each other's posts and it boom, 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 5 and 6 different people. And which is great for engagement, for running your business, if that's how you're monetizing, but it also confuses the heck out of people because they think what they're seeing is happening all day, every day. And that's just not the case. I do want to say this too. It's both sides. I watched some ICE agents antagonizing protesters, kind of taking joy in that, kind of waving at them, mockingly waving at them, taking photos of them. Driving up on them very quickly and hitting the brakes really hard, laying on the horn or hitting the sirens. Well, they didn't have to do that kind of stuff. But, on the other side, I saw protesters who were camped out there all day, the ones who were on the sidewalk near the facility. I'll be honest, I watched them drink beer all day and then protest and then harass media. And then if someone took a photo of them, they didn't like that, they would interrupt them or interrupt my interviews and then go back and drink more beer. That's just a couple of, that's some ICE agents and that's some of the protesters. It's not all of them. So it's not black and white. It's both sides jabbing each other. But there's a lot of middle stuff that you got to kind of weed through as well. Look, I think these are federal agents and workers trying to do their job from their perspective. But I think this is also protesters trying to do their job, exercising their First Right Amendments as well. And so it's not exactly what you see, though, I would stress, in the media.
Luke Ducey, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming in.
Speaking of Antifa, last week Donald Trump issued an executive order classifying Antifa as a terrorist organization. And Seattle Police Officers Guild President Mike Solon is on board with that. Solon tells the Center Square that SPD supports Antifa being designated as domestic terrorists.
These people are vile, and they should be treated as such. They should be held accountable. So I'm so glad that they're finally going after the resources that people are propping up these Antifa thugs with: money, assets, influence, legal cover. Let's go after it all, because it's about time the reasonable community has a voice. And I believe that this moniker of calling them domestic thugs from a federal level gives our communities hope.
Antifa isn't an official group, everyone. If you're listening right now, everything that I'm going to say right now, you can go ahead and look it up. Now, I do. Look, if there's one thing that I'm starting to better understand, right, there are some that like to go off of facts, and then there's some that like to go off of feelings. So what I'm going to say to you isn't a feeling, okay? Antifa isn't an official group. Antifa is short for anti-fascist. Think of it more like a loose movement made up of individuals and small networks who oppose far-right extremism and white supremacy. Sometimes they do it through protest. Sometimes they do it through direct action. Sometimes there are times where it gets violent with people. But notice I said with people. And if they are representing and they're being violent to oppose far-right extremism, I'm against that. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm against all violence. I don't care who it comes from. Back to Antifa. Antifa doesn't have a leader. Antifa doesn't have a headquarters. Antifa doesn't have membership cards. It's an ideology, not an organization. So when you declare them a terrorist group, who is the group? This is where the debate continues to come in, because while many are focused on their anti-hate stance, most people are just pointing to the confrontational tactics. And by the way, if you're pointing to any of the confrontational tactics, count me in. I'm with you. Now, on the other side of things, because sometimes I said just now, it's short for anti-fascist. And maybe fascism is something that's maybe not understood. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, because sometimes you got to go back to the basics. In sports, you go back to the fundamentals and to the basics. Fascism is an authoritarian way of ruling where power is concentrated in one leader or party. It rejects democracy, it silences the opposition, and it uses nationalism, fear, and violence sometimes to control people. Instead of we the people, it becomes follow the leader. Let me say that again. Instead of we the people, it becomes follow the leader. So this is where sometimes where one group continues to blame another group for all of society's problems while continuing to strip away freedoms. So I had to explain what fascism is. Chef, let's get to the next story.
All right. Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders is raising a red flag over budget cuts that he says is going to put public safety at risk. The sheriff met with county commissioners yesterday afternoon, packed hall, hundreds of people, and warned that if the cuts stand, that tough calls are going to have to be made, especially with staffing, which is most of his budget.
It would signify the largest setback for law enforcement and public safety in the history of this county.
So, Commissioner did scale back proposed cuts from $4.5 million to $2.5 million, and they say they'll try and pare it down even further.
Yo, I rock with Sheriff Sanders. I rock with him. I love how transparent he is. I love how he has the connection to the people. Matter of fact, I'm going to be using the people all the time. You want to know why they scaled back? You know why when all the people pulled up to support and find out what is going on with a $4.5 million proposed cut? As soon as they showed up, they didn't have to say anything. The commissioner said, oh, hey, hold on. Just so you all know, before you say what you got to say, we've gone from 4.5 to 2.5, and then we're going to do our best to pare it down. You want to know why that happened? That didn't happen because Sheriff Sanders told them, hey, this is what needs to happen. This happened because the people collectively said, oh, no, we're not playing this. And this is what happens when you have people collectively come together with a common goal, and then the people, the force leaders at the top are like, oh boy, we in trouble. So this is why a lot of things don't happen, because we, outside of Thurston County, just in general and period, when you don't have people collectively coming together for the common good of a community, then nothing happens. So, Chef, I would love to get Sheriff Derek Sanders on our show. I love what that young gun is doing down there. I shouldn't call him young gun, but by the way, that's a term of endearment when we say young gun. But anyways, but I love this. I love the actions of Thurston County. I love how this story has come together. Hey, we got a lot of stuff going on the show. Coming up at 9:47, we need to talk about driverless cars. And if they commit a violation or they need to get a citation, can they get a ticket? We'll talk about that then. But up next, the military. The military generals and leaders were all summoned to one place for a very important meeting that cost tax dollars so much money. What was that about? Let's talk about it next. Gee Ursula.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO News Radio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO News Radio. On 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system. And I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Cold is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
My name is Jonas Khan. I'm the founder and chairman of Carbotex. We're based here in Kennewick, Washington. We focus in the testing, development, and manufacturing of flexible carbon fiber composites. And we have about 50 people here in Washington. Operating a business in Washington State has a whole host of challenges. We're an AWB member because as a small and medium-sized business, AWB is able to handle so many aspects of state and federal regulations and changes that we don't have the resources to focus on. And of course, being able to take advantage of Health Choice has been a huge help for Carbotex. As we're structuring our compensation package for our employees who are coming on board, a cornerstone of that is health insurance. Not just any health insurance, it has to be high quality, easy to use, a great network, and we have that with Health Choice. And that's just been extremely helpful for us.
If you're looking for a great health plan for your employees, visit ProPointServices.com. Health Choice Trust is offered through the Association of Washington Business and powered by Primera Blue Cross.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence, in your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt ductless heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Here's what I've learned at 60. Life can get complicated. Although I'm lucky to have a pension and a 401k, there are also taxes to think about, and hopefully one day grandkids I'd like to help. The last thing I want is to run around to 5 different offices for answers. With Trajan Wealth, I don't have to. Hi, this is Ursula Reutin. Trajan Wealth has brought everything under one roof. Fiduciary advisors to guide investments, estate attorneys to handle trusts and wills, and tax experts who will help make sure I'm not paying more than I should. That level of coordination saves me time, stress, and money. If you've ever wished your financial life could be simpler, I can tell you it feels so good knowing there's one team looking out for every piece of the puzzle. To find out how Trajan Wealth can help you, call them today at 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Or go to TrajanWealth.com. That's Trajan, spelled Trajan. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
The longer this goes on, the more pain will be inflicted.
The federal government shuts down House Speaker Mike Johnson on the failure of Congress to pass a budget. Army veteran Alonzo Sirman.
These are real things in the lives of people. You have this affecting their finances.
CBS's Michael Wallace has more on the impact.
The TSA is warning of travel delays. Its agents are still working, but without pay. National parks remain partially open, but sites that require staffing, like Smithsonian museums and the Washington Monument, are closed. Food banks should be okay for now. Brian Green is president of the Houston Food Bank.
But if it starts to get to the point later in November when the benefits are also not coming in, where people are not receiving SNAP, et cetera, it will be overwhelming.
Social Security and Medicare payments will still be made. The mail will still be delivered. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The National Guard deployment to Portland is being delayed as the troops go through administrative processing and use of force training. President Trump is putting local Guards members under federal control to protect immigration centers and other federal buildings. Oregon State is suing, saying the deployment is not necessary. Oregon Live says this will cost taxpayers at least $3.8 million. Nurses at Seattle Children's Hospital are pushing for better pay and benefits. Kelsey Gellner was on a picket line yesterday where she told KIRO 7 TV she lost her health benefits while on maternity leave.
I'm the one providing the care to these kids most of the time, and my kids weren't covered.
More than 2,000 nurses represented by the Washington State Nurses Association are in contract talks. The hospital says it is committed to working toward a fair agreement. School bus drivers in Everett say they're ready to walk off the job if they don't get a new contract. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha spoke with members of their Teamsters Union.
They say a strike is a possibility because negotiations with their employer, Durham School Services, have broken down, and the company walked away from bargaining.
If we don't have something that we can take back to our members and get this thing done, it's imminent.
There is no reference on the Everett School site to a potential strike impacting bus service. The drivers say they want compensation and benefits that align with what other districts are giving drivers.
No comment yet from the bus operator. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 2 points, NASDAQ up 41. KIRO News Radio traffic. It's been a challenging morning getting out of the South Sound after 2 crashes, a stall, and people avoiding State Route 167 because of a damaged girder. Your travel time Tacoma to Federal Way, 41 minutes. That's nearly half an hour longer than typical. A crash is reported on I-5 southbound near the Stilcombe DuPont Road. You're backed up around JBLM up to 41st Division Drive. Drive time Tacoma to Olympia, 40 minutes. Everett to Seattle, back down to 50. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing showers today with highs in the upper 60s. It's 57 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. I just wanted you guys to know, I know I mentioned that I will not be looking at the text line today, but don't you worry. Chef is over there, as always. He's a producer. He's over there checking, monitoring all the text messages, being able to talk to you guys. So I'm just telling you for me. But right now, this week at Quantico, I got to tell you that nearly 800 generals and admirals were summoned for an unusual gathering with Donald Trump and the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth. Hegseth opened with a fiery speech about returning to a so-called warrior ethos, mocking what he called fat generals and pushing back against what he sees as weakness inside the ranks. Then Donald Trump stepped up and went further. He painted American cities as battlefields in a war from within, calling them lawless and suggesting that they could serve as training grounds for U.S. troops. He told any dissenting generals they could leave the room, even hinting their careers were on the line. That kind of language drew sharp criticism from both inside and outside the Pentagon, warning that it crosses a dangerous line by politicizing the military. Also, Donald Trump started off by trying to loosen up all the generals, and here's that warning when he was saying that he could fire any of them.
I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very, don't laugh, you're not allowed to do that. You know what, just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank, there goes your future. But you just feel nice and loose, okay? Because we're all on the same team.
Yesterday, as a matter of fact, when this meeting was being assembled, and I think it was last week, I think the first time we found out about it was last Wednesday or Thursday. And Chef was the one that told me about it. Hey, you heard that there's a meeting of a bunch of generals and leaders of the military. They're all going to be summoned. This is definitely uncharacteristic. This is unusual for it to happen. To which I looked at Chef like, oh my goodness, something's for real. Now, if you're listening right now, the first time, be honest, the first time that you heard that all of the top military leaders were going to get together, were you at least a little concerned? I was. I thought, oh, this is serious. So I took that time, right when Chef said it, I text a friend of mine, someone that I grew up with. He's a full bird colonel in the military, in the Army. And I text him and I'm like, hey, should we be worried? This is something. He never texts me back right away. And usually he does. So that kind of worried me that my friend who I grew up with, so that probably told me also maybe he couldn't say anything about what's going on. I finally heard from him yesterday. And when I heard from him yesterday, he just told me, and he kept it simple. He says, yeah, I got your text about if we should be worried. And to paraphrase what he said is, there should always be some type of concern when the military is trying to be politicized. And that right there is the problem. I don't care where your politics are and where they have been met. When you start talking about the politicization of the military, that is never a good thing. The military, you count on them to follow the Constitution. I think that this moment right here, it shows how Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth are, if you will, recasting the military's mission. They are making this less about foreign battlefields and more about America's own neighborhoods. Am I going to say that that meeting was a waste of time? I think me saying that that meeting was a waste of time is still giving it too much credit. Here is Pete Hegseth when he talks about how getting tough with the enemies of America.
Should our enemies choose foolishly to challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, F-A-F-O. If necessary, our troops can translate that for you.
Yesterday, on my podcast, The Reset, it's going to come out. The next episode will come out. Yesterday's episode was with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Tomorrow's episode will come out. It's with Doug Baldwin. You all know who he is, former Seahawks wide receiver, Seahawks legend. He said something to me yesterday, and now I'm going to bring it and let you know what it was about. He talked about leadership, and he talked about how in football, the plays are essentially the same. They might sound different, but football is football. You either run the ball, you pass the ball, you punt the football, but there's different plays and things, and they're called different names. Well, one of the things that he talked about is he talked about leadership, and he talked about tone. And what I mean by that is if you're listening to me right now, you would say this is a different tone from G today. And it is. It's totally a different tone. I'm not the playful tone right now. This is the tone of sincerity. This is the tone of this is a very serious time. What Pete Hegseth and what worries me about him is his tone. What worries me about him is that even when you listen, even if your politics align with Pete Hegseth, you know that's not a leader. We are not used to hearing someone that is in charge of the Department of Defense for the United States of America sounding that way. Can you go through and just think about those that have been in charge? They don't sound like that. They don't get on there and say F-A-F-O. That's something that you hear from the radio guy, G. Scott. You don't hear it from him. Pete Hegseth is talking to those in the military who've been in the military 30 plus years. Folks that have lost men and women to war, lost men and women in war. Those that have been through wars, been through battles, and they got to hear from this. I'd argue that the military is the best, the greatest leadership that there is. I go military first, then I'd go coaching. So for those generals to have to sit through that, yes, it was a waste of time. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we'll lighten it up a little bit, and we do need to talk about California police pulling over a self-driving car. Did that car get a ticket? What do you think should happen when a self-driving car commits violations on the road? Next, Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Have you stopped to think about how you feel today compared to, say, 10 years ago? Are you noticing changes? Less energy, slow recovery, trouble focusing, maybe even weight gain? What if you could turn back the clock and feel stronger, sharper, and more alive? At Longevity Medical Clinic, we help people do exactly that. For over 3 decades, we've been helping thousands of men and women find out what's really going on inside their bodies and take action to feel better and live longer. With advanced diagnostics and personalized hormone and supplement plans, we uncover what's been holding you back and show you how to optimize your health. Our patients often say, "Now I finally understand what's happening and what to do about it." Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better. Live longer. Let's do it together.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Do you know someone whose everyday actions make Washington stronger? Someone whose care, service, and connection lift us all. They're Washington's community champions, and WSECU wants to celebrate them this fall. Steve Rabel here. WSECU has been serving Washington since 1957, and they're the only credit union named Forbes' Best Credit Union 5 years running. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your Washington Community Champion today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills, backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Crawl space and attics are not places you want to spend much time, but many homes in our area can have serious issues behind the hatches. Hi, it's the owner of Crawl Pros, Richard Herron. For years, you've heard us talking about how we go where you don't want to. With our free corner-to-corner inspection to keep your crawl space and attic well insulated and free of mold and water. You've also heard about the pest control division of our company to keep your home bug and critter free. I'm excited to tell you about our newest division, Plumber Pros. Plumber Pros takes the same customer-first approach to plumbing that we do with our crawl space, attic, and pest control work. We've handpicked skilled plumbers that I know you'll feel comfortable inviting into your home. So next time you run into plumbing issues, from leaky faucets and clogged drains to full home repipes and sub pump installations, call Crawl Pros and we'll get our plumbing division, Plumber Pros, out to get it resolved. For anything related to your crawl space, attic, pest control, or plumbing, call Crawl Pros or visit us at crawlpros.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
You remember the fan that caught Cal Riley's 60th home run ball? You know, that went viral because my man gave it away, and I couldn't believe it? Well, guess what? At 10 o'clock, everybody's going to be in studio. Glenn, the person who caught the ball, Galen, the dad of the 12-year-old who got the ball, and the 12-year-old, Marcus. They're all going to be in studio at 10 o'clock. We'll have some fun with that conversation. Wait a minute. I just realized today is Wednesday. That means Marcus didn't go to school? Oh, my goodness. Well, they'll be all in studio and make sure you...
I wrote him a permission slip.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, here's a question. Now, this is something you want to talk about laws going to be changing. Check this out. How do you hold a robot accountable when it breaks the law? Here's the deal. With a Waymo story out of San Bruno, California, police stopped a self-driving taxi after it made an illegal U-turn. But when they walked up to the window, there was nobody inside, which means nobody to hand a ticket to. Nobody to say, sorry, officer, is there a reason you pulled me over? It was none of that. But right now, the law only allows officers to cite a human being for a moving violation. They can write a parking ticket and stick it on your windshield, but when it comes to running a red light or pulling a stunt like this with the illegal U-turn, there has to be an actual person to issue the ticket to. That's why they couldn't ticket the car. Police just called Waymo, reported the glitch, and left it at that. And I want to just say the protocol for when they do report the glitch, because right now, their protocol is law enforcement. They can contact Waymo through an emergency hotline, or they can interact with the car via the speaker system. The car itself, I found out, is set up so when it recognizes any sirens, flashing lights, and all that stuff, it goes into a mode where now the speaker system will have a human that is that's overseeing that and checking that out, and they'll be able to talk to law enforcement at that time. So the bigger question is what this means for the future. As driverless cars grow, and by the way, they're growing, y'all know the laws need to catch up. So who is responsible when there's no human in the seat? Today, technically the answer is the company operating the car, but y'all already know. Tomorrow, we need clearer rules before our roads are filled with vehicles and nobody's getting a ticket. And just one more thing. We need to get on top of this now, because if history reminds us of anything, we had the internet just go free for years with no stipulations, no consequences, and nothing. And this is why we have what we have. So let's not have the roads filled with driverless cars and no responsibility.
I don't understand this continued thread we have in our society where if you're a company or a corporation, no one's responsible for any of the decisions that are made or the things that happen. Like, if you have a company that steals tips from their workers, oh, that's a fine. No one's going to jail. Right. If you're self-driving cars breaking the rules of the road, no ticket, no big deal. The robots get off, but you and me that are human and earn a human salary, not like a Google-sized salary, we got to pay the $247.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? If we're going to fine the companies, fine them $1 million each time.
Oh.
You think Google's going to pay attention to $250?
Thank you for that, Chef. Okay. Here's where it gets interactive. Chef, you got to check the text line. I told you guys today I am doing no text line. This is a first in many years, but just today's not the day for it for me. So I want to go around the horn. I need you all to text in 888-973-5476. You all know what our fines are if we are speeding or run red lights and all that stuff. So I doubt that Waymo, these autonomous cars, are going to speed. So that's not going to happen. But what should be the fine for an illegal U-turn, run the red light? What should be the fine? Chef, you saying $1 million to the company?
Yeah, $1 million.
Nick, what you got, man? $1 million?
I would say at least six figures. $1 million's kind of hefty.
Yeah.
I was saying, maybe $250, $300.
Now, wait a minute, though, y'all. We talk about being in budget deficits all over the state and county and city. Hey, Waymo, come on. So that way we can get some of that fine money, baby. Hopefully, yeah, but we got to set the laws that way. So I'm curious what you all think. Hey, let's have some fun. Look, I woke up this morning super excited about this. I got so many questions for Glenn. Glenn, you saw that ball coming? You caught that 60th home run ball? and you look next to you and you saw your little partner 12 years old and you say, here you go, kid. And you just gave him the baseball. I need to ask you, what was you thinking? Why did you do that? Well, all of them comes in, the dad of the 12-year-old and the 12-year-old, all in studio. They'll be joining us. Make sure you stick around. Go fill up your coffee. We do all that next. Gee and Ursula.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO Newsradio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Saturday, October 4th through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Saturday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. A vote to end the government shutdown failed today in the Senate. Democrats holding firm to demands to fund health care subsidies. So thousands of federal workers are planning for life without a paycheck. Some have been furloughed. Others will work without pay. Johnny Jones is with the union representing TSA employees.
We're going to go into work with not knowing how long we're going to be working without receiving our normal paycheck, and that's going to be a challenge for a lot of employees, as most of us live paycheck to paycheck.
Well, CBS's Natalie Brand is at the White House.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune has signaled there are ongoing conversations with rank-and-file Democrats in an effort to convince them to break with party leadership and support the GOP's short-term funding measure.
Well, it ends when the Senate Democrats pick this bill up.
Democratic leaders say they're standing firm that a negotiation has to address their concerns over health care cuts and extending enhanced health care tax credits under the Affordable Care Act.
What gives us the ability to win this argument with the American people is we're standing for what they want with health care.
The U.S. Supreme Court's allowing Lisa Cook to remain as a Federal Reserve governor for now. The court's declining to act on the administration effort to immediately remove her. The new Texas congressional maps that President Trump hopes will create 5 more Republican seats in the 2026 midterms are getting a court hearing, as we hear from KRLD reporter Chris Fox.
A 3-judge federal panel in El Paso will hear 6 combined lawsuits claiming the Republican-drawn maps were illegally racially gerrymandered. Attorney Nina Perales represents the Hispanic civil rights group LULAC.
If you're targeting a district because of its minority composition, that's unconstitutional.
Republican State Rep Todd Hunter authored the redistricting bill.
We are allowed to draw congressional districts on the basis of political performance.
In New York City, an incinerator shaft collapsed in a 20-story apartment building in the Bronx. Officials say no one was hurt. It may have been triggered, they say, by a gas explosion. A new report finds Switzerland's melting glaciers are disappearing at a rate faster than first thought. CBS's Michael Toscano.
This is what a shrinking glacier sounds like. The process speeding up as the climate warms. It's the rapidly retreating Morteratsch Glacier in the Swiss Alps, the sound captured by French recording artist Ludwig Berger. Between 2015 and 2025 alone, the glaciers shed 24% of their volume, according to GLAMOS. Scientists warn that Switzerland's glaciers could all but disappear by the end of this century.
And checking Wall Street, the Dow is down 31 points. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
A school shooting plot foiled. The story coming up at first. KIRO News Radio traffic. Near JBLM, a crash is blocking 2 lanes on southbound I-5 near the Steilacoom-DuPont Road. You're backed up to Tillicum. Travel time, Tacoma to Olympia, 68 minutes. That's 35 longer than usual. Tacoma to Federal Way is 26 minutes, still running about 10 minutes slower due to earlier crashes. Travel time Everett to Seattle, much improved at 30 minutes. And remember, construction has you slow eastbound on the I-90 bridge. Traffic brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Head to T-Mobile Park for the postseason scrimmages. The first one is this afternoon at 2 p.m. Tickets at mariners.com/scrimmage.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused an explosion and fire at a home in North Bend.
The windows rattled and the shockwave rolled right through the house.
That was the startling sound that jolted Ray Fowler and his neighbors late Sunday night. A loud explosion at a nearby house.
And I could see the flames.
Those flames were soon doing damage to his neighbor's home.
We were able to get it under control in about 40 minutes.
By then, the family of 4 had made it out of the burning house alive, but an older dog was trapped on the second floor. An Eastside Fire and Rescue firefighter had to go up to rescue him.
A 3-year-old found a live World War II hand grenade in the front yard of his family's home in Grant County. The sheriff's office says the child brought the grenade into the home. Sheriff spokesman Kyle Foreman.
Unexploded ordnance like that is a problem. An unexploded device, certainly due to its age, made it more unstable.
The Washington State Patrol bomb squad carefully moved and disposed of that grenade. Kennewick police, acting on a tip, arrested a 14-year-old Eastern Washington boy who was allegedly planning to attack a high school. KIRO 7 TV's Didi Sand explained.
A search warrant turned up what they call substantial evidence that he was planning a mass shooting.
It was a map of Kamiakin High School with identified classrooms where he felt he was going to commit this school shooting.
The teen is now in the Benton County Juvenile Justice Center facing felony charges, including attempted assault and threats to bomb or damage property.
Ranchers are sounding the alarm after falling prey to a hay buying scam. The Thurston County Sheriff's Office says scammers used stolen credit cards to place orders and then resell the hay online. Stephanie Kimball owns a ranch in Yelm. She tells KIRO 7 TV they're out tens of thousands of dollars.
Our best thing we can do is try and get the word out to everybody else and hope that someone brings these people down because it's stealing. It's not right.
Deputies are investigating. Washington, 4 other states, and the Federal Trade Commission are suing Zillow and Redfin, accusing the Seattle-based companies of conspiring to crush competition in the rental listings market. Zillow allegedly paid Redfin $100 million to stop selling certain ads and redirect customers to Zillow. The companies deny wrongdoing. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing showers today with highs in the upper 60s. It's 59 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday, October 1st. Means the world that you guys hang out with us. If you're new to the show, where you been? Thank you for being here. And if you're always here with the show, I appreciate you all for hanging out with us. We have a jam-packed 10 o'clock hour, including at 10:30, we play a game called You Be the Judge. But right now, I'm super excited. I've been looking forward to this till I found out they were coming in.
What's new at 10?
Now, 1 week ago, Mariner fans finally saw something they hadn't in more than a generation. The team crowned American League West champions, the Seattle Mariners. And on that very same night, Cal Raleigh launched his 60th home run of the season, tying Babe Ruth's record.
The chance of MVP. MVP, the stretch of the pitch to Cal. Swinging a drive deep to right field. There it is, number 60. The modern-day Bambino has just tied Babe Ruth's record of 60 home runs for third all-time in American League history.
But while the crowd was going crazy for the history on the field, something even more unforgettable was happening in the stands. Glenn Muty Driscoll was the fan who caught the ball, and instead of keeping it, he gave it away to a young 12-year-old. This morning, we're delighted to welcome in Glenn here in studio, along with that young man, my main man Marcus, who sits next to me. Marcus, good morning to you. And Galen, his dad, good morning to you as well.
Good morning, G.
Okay, first of all, before I even ask any questions, Dad, Marcus was allowed to miss school today and get out a little bit. What happened?
Well, it's just kind of an executive decision I made.
Okay, love it.
Special to, reunite with Glenn and Marcus on the show. I just thought it'd be a cool full circle moment for what had happened that night.
Love all that. Well, I'm going to start with Glenn. Glenn, first, tell us how you saw the ball coming. As a matter of fact, let's reenact it. Here we go. Catch the ball. Boom. So tell us how you saw the ball coming, and what was that split second like when it was heading your way?
Well, it wasn't like that. So it bounced off 3 or 4 people's hands, or so other guys in the stands, they were filming. So it went off someone else and it bounced off your wife's head?
Or may have hit her somewhere, but it was just a lot going
It bounced around like 3 or so times, and like it was behind me, and then like it bounced coming towards. So it was just going off of, a whole bunch of people's hands or gloves, and then it was coming near. Well, it was just, split second, basically reflexes, just reaching up and grabbing a baseball that's coming at you. So it wasn't like this heater coming in. It's like, oh man.
So you got the baseball. By the way, you can catch. You did not know that was coming. That was pretty good. What was your initial reaction when you're like, oh boy, I have Cal Raleigh's 60th home run ball in my hand?
Sort of that. I mean, it's like, oh wow, is this really happening? I mean, I guess kind of background, like, well, yeah. Just all the random stuff that happened leading up to that moment. It's like, yeah, I did not think it was going to happen. And it's like, wow.
So you didn't think it was going to happen. It actually happened. It's in your hand. And then you made a decision to hand the ball away to young Marcus. And I'll be coming to talk to Marcus here in a second. Tell us what's going through your mind at that moment.
I mean, it wasn't immediate, or, I was like cheering and yelling, yeah, for, whatever.
Okay.
15, 20 seconds, or I don't remember, I don't know exactly how long, but, it was a thrill. It was a special moment. I guess, yeah, then, well, I saw a child in front of me, and I have 2 kids of my own, so were they at the game with me, none of this would have happened, because those would have been the kids I handed it to, but I saw Marcus in front of me, and, it was... split second, like, oh, this is special. I like this, but at the same time, yeah, give it to the kid. So that's how it happened.
All right, I'm gonna come back to you in a sec, Glenn. Marcus, I'm so glad you're here on the show today, man. I heard you even did your homework later that night. But Marcus, walk us through when you realized at that moment that this gentleman, this adult, because you didn't know his name yet, was handing you the baseball. Tell me what you're thinking.
I couldn't think.
You couldn't think? What do you mean? Tell me why. You couldn't think because you were excited?
Yeah, I was excited. I didn't know.
Did you know? When did you know and realize that was Cal Raleigh's 60th home run ball?
When the stadium erupted and like everybody was like high-fiving me and stuff.
Yeah, and so you have the baseball, and then when you finally go out, I heard that. You was like, hey, I want to give this ball back to Cal Raleigh. Why is that a decision? Why is that something that you wanted to do?
I wanted to do that because he hit the ball. Mm-hmm. His 60th home run. Like his family was there, like everyone, and like his special ball. Like he'll keep it, and like, yeah, it's just like a memory for him, like a big memory.
How does it make you feel knowing that you got that ball? And then you were able to make sure that Cal Raleigh got the baseball?
Makes me feel happy.
Yeah? Okay, so that night, you went home and you did homework still. And you did homework and you went to school the next day. Tell me about some of the conversations that you had with your friends at school.
Well, on the first day of school, no one really believed me until I got an interview in school, like, I think, that day, and then people started believing me, and like I started getting, like, people were saying that I was like the baseball kid.
You're the baseball kid. So they really didn't believe you at first.
No.
If I was going to school with you, I probably wouldn't have believed you as well. So that's pretty awesome. I love that happened. And Dad, how's things been going since that week has transpired? What's been going on?
Well, it's been a crazy week. A lot of people have been reaching out. And we've been open to sharing because it's such a cool story with what Glenn's generosity, sincerity. Mm-hmm. Baseball is a kid's game, and it's fitting that Glenn gave the ball to a kid, or just from a dad, a stranger gave a ball to my son who was nice. And, I just wanted him to kind of feel that moment. And I was so proud of how he handled himself. I didn't tell him what to do, but how he represented himself, and just the story being shared for all the right reasons in this time and current of our country right now in the world. It was just a feel-good story that picked up, and hopefully people pay it forward.
Galen, you bring up a great point about a lot of the noise that's happening in the country and in the world. And when the person that's sitting next to you, Glenn, is someone who he didn't know your son, he didn't know you, he decides to make a decision to give the baseball to your son, you've had a week to really think about Glenn and think about what he did in that moment. Tell us what you've been thinking about when it comes to Glenn.
Well, Glenn's sitting next to me now, but like father to father, it's just cool when you do things, when things happen nice for your kids, you like that. And then when you see the intent, the meaning of it, and then for him to kind of reciprocate the feeling of this isn't mine, like it's Cal's moment, it's Cal's ball, but just a complete random act of kindness that it was just so cool to witness. He couldn't script it. Like there's videos on Instagram that I found out that night of, he caught the ball and gave it to him. It was just all so surreal. But looking back, since it's been a week, has just been a kind of I would say a fulfilling experience on a lot of different levels. From a fan, a dad, a Seattleite, just so cool.
Well, and by the way, you all are listening to the voices of Glenn Muti Driscoll. He is the fan that caught the 60th home run ball. And then you have Marcus, the 12-year-old, who they hand the ball to. And then you have the father, Galen, of Marcus. They're all in studio here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Before I get to Glenn, Galen, I want you to talk about, you said you've had a lot of things that have transpired, like, as a father, as a fan. Would you like to share any stories, anything that has been profound over the last week outside of interviews or maybe this relationship with your son or anything?
The thing I would have to say is, number one, the Mariners organization has been really gracious to have finally, I posted that night, the event happened, because I didn't know who Glenn was, that people were looking for him. But I just said to the Mariners organization, please rightfully reward Glenn. And Marcus's thoughts on the way home was, I didn't do anything. Glenn should be acknowledged more than me. I just happened to get the ball, number one. Number two, I would say a lot of people who've been coming at us for like interview requests have just been almost hungry for like a feel-good story. So there's a hunger in the media world for, I would say, viral. It's gone viral. And then for us, Marcus's only request that night was, I want to meet Cal or give Cal the ball. Obviously hit the home run in the bottom of the eighth. By the time we got to where we needed to get, everyone was on the field waving flags. It was mayhem. Right. So I'm glad the organization granted his request. And then what the cool part is just, we had even like MLB Japan, all these writers, while we were there, we'd like to share your story. And we were just kind of so touched and always never forgetting Glenn's act of kindness. I mean, that's kind of where it started. And it's almost a domino effect of Marcus experiencing it. And then for me as a father, seeing, you teach your kids, I've said, be the best you could be humble, be kind. And when it manifests itself like in front of your eyes, it's almost like like I did something right. And then your kids are represented through, represent the family well. So,
right. Glenn, when you see that you hand off the baseball to a 12-year-old and you have now since, it's been a week, and you've seen what's transpired. You've seen that your kindness was met with unbelievable kindness as well. What does that mean to you when you see the extension of kindness happen?
Oh, it's great. I mean, couldn't really script this any better. There's still good people out there, or I guess just having faith in everyone else or the person next to you that they're a good person, extend kindness to them. They'll pay it back too, or you need more of it. And you don't have enough of these stories in the world. Like, there are all sorts of terrible reasons that people get in the news or recognized. That's the more common thing that you see. Someone did something bad, or like they're owning someone or whatever. Like, that's how they're getting in the news. But like, this is pretty cool that this is a big story, and I'm happy to be part of it. And I'd love it if there were more of them, or a weekly segment or something on just acts of kindness that have happened in the world.
Now, Glenn, are you a lucky person? Because let me tell you something. I've been to a bunch of baseball games. I haven't caught a foul ball. I haven't caught a home run. I haven't caught anything but a cold usually. Have you ever caught a foul ball or a home run before?
Nope. Only time being down in that section where we're in the outfield, so conceivably you could catch the ball. But yeah, no, otherwise generally nosebleeds or bleachers or, like not close enough to get a ball.
Right. I'm sure it's been a whirlwind for you. And I love what Galen had to say about people are really hungry for a good news story. Matter of fact, I could sit here and talk to you guys for 3 hours, but I know Marcus wants to go back to school at some point. So I want to ask you, Glenn, in all of the media requests and talking about this, how has this talking about this story shaped you a little bit, considering everybody wants to hear from you? Like everybody. I'm like, I even sit down before the producer got hooked up, like, hey, I want to talk to the guy that caught the ball and everybody involved. And I'm glad you're here today. What is that? Talk about that.
This whole thing is, I guess, we've all said it's surreal and, not really, I guess I don't have much to say about it. Or it's just, kind of, it's pretty cool. I'm not really looking for the recognition, but I guess maybe getting back to what I said before, it's good that people get recognized for this sort of stuff.
Yeah, Glenn, you're going to be recognized forever, bro. Just so you know. I mean, that was a very selfless thing to do in a world, like Galen says, that's really loud right now. There's a lot of divisiveness that is going on, so we're always grateful for that. Now, Marcus, Dad, Galen, did he get a chance to finally meet Cal Raleigh? Did that happen yet?
Yes. So Saturday's game, we were invited. So initially we were invited 4 tickets and batting practice to a game the following season, next season. Mm-hmm. But they emailed me and made arrangements. We were able to come down Saturday and watch batting practice, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the moment where Cal came out of the dugout and he and Marcus had their moment. And he got to meet him, which is really cool, because Marcus's initial wish was, can I just give him the ball, and he was able to do that, fulfill that, and again, appreciative to the organization for making that happen. It was really special just to see, all right, you got to meet him. He had to touch history. Glenn and Marcus got to touch history for whatever, their 15 seconds or 20 seconds, 1 minute, whatever, but they're forever intertwined with Cal. Hopefully an MVP season, 60th home run, and 2 gracious fans in the stands celebrating the best fans in baseball.
Now, Marcus, tell us about that meeting with Cal Raleigh, man. Tell us about that moment.
He was Big Dumper.
What did he say to you? What did he say? No, what did you say to him, or what did he say to you?
I said hi, and he said thank you for the ball, and we were exchanging thoughts, and I said that you're gonna be MVP and that you're really good.
How cool is that? Now, did your friends ask you all about meeting Cal Raleigh and what that's like? And are you popular at school now, man?
I mean, yeah.
That is cool. Well, man, look, this whole story is dynamic. And before I go, it's fitting that my last question be for Marcus. And Marcus, I'm gonna put you on the spot. When you talk about this all the time, when you tell the story and people keep asking you about it, so right now, what is your favorite part of this entire story? And that part, what will you tell people?
Probably Glenn, being here and giving me the ball.
That's your favorite moment? That's pretty cool. See, this story just keeps going, right? And so I tell you what, you started all of this, Glenn. Thank you. On behalf of everybody that's human in the world, we thank you for starting this ripple effect. And I think that Marcus will never forget something like this. I think fans, people listening will never forget this. And I know as a father, Galen, I know that you will never forget it. So what a beautiful story. All started by you, Glenn. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Glenn.
Galen, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Marcus, thank you, man. Hey, all your homework done? It's good? You good? No.
Not yet.
All right. Thank you all for coming in. Means the world. I want to get a picture with you. Am I okay getting a picture with you guys after? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Come on, man. Y'all great people. Y'all famous. Hey, coming up next, we got 1047. We got scenarios, and Kai. By the way, shout out to Kai in here who's been so generous to help orchestrate all of this. Thank you for being in here. Shout out to Kai. Scenarios comes up at 1047. Stick around for that. But up next, you be the judge. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What a morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
You're miracle workers.
Don't know about that.
My drain was clogged.
Right.
You came in a jiffy.
And got right to work?
Now it's clear.
It's what we do.
Like I said, you're miracle workers.
Actually, we're plumbers.
Apollo plumbers.
You want to see some real miracle workers?
Huh?
Just take a look at Seattle Children's.
Sure.
They're all hope, care, and cure.
All true.
And together, we can help them.
How so?
Your service fee?
Yeah?
Apollo Plumbing is donating it.
To benefit Seattle Children's Hospital.
We're donating all our service fees.
All month.
To help Seattle Children's provide outstanding care and support research.
And ensure no child in need is ever turned away.
That's the goal.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love the work they do at Seattle Children's.
So, I call, you come.
Apollo donates your service fee. All our service fees.
All month?
All the way to $20,000.
That's so Apollo Plumbing.
Always ready, right now.
You really are miracle workers.
Aren't we all?
Maybe so.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
And now, Tales of Another Way. You've got your same old playlist, but another song about a breakup is just a downer. 2 minutes in your music app, and now you're groovin', man. Sometimes another way is the better way, like the new SR 509 Expressway, the alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. It's tolling now, and you can save $2 per toll with a Good-to-Go pass. Get a free sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
So what'll you have today? Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry?
When it comes to picking ice cream, there are lots of choices, and they all look and sound so good. Choosing a Medicare plan is a lot like that. So many options, all sound good. But if you pick a plan that's not right for you, there can be serious consequences. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Open enrollment season is right around the corner, and you're going to be inundated with advertisements encouraging you to choose this Medicare Advantage plan or that one. Maybe the best choice for you is traditional Medicare. To make an informed decision, you need to do your homework. The Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program has a free Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit to get you started.
This is Insurance Commissioner Patty Kuderer. Our Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit has a checklist of 7 easy steps to help you decide which Medicare plan is right for you.
Order your free toolkit today at insurance.wa.gov. That's insurance.wa.gov. Or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center. Then go get an ice cream.
Buy more, save more at Dania Furniture. For a limited time, save $200 instantly for every $800 you spend in our showroom. It's the perfect way to complete your look for less or splurge on your dream piece for your living room, dining room, outdoor space, home office, or bedroom. Stop by your local showroom today or shop online at daniafurniture.com.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills, backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The federal government is shut down today. Congress failed to agree on a spending plan by midnight. Democrats like Senator Mark Kelly are holding out until Congress extends tax credits for health care. Or
on November 1st, 20 million Americans are going to see their premiums double.
Republicans aren't budging. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
There's nothing to negotiate. There's nothing I can give.
According to one estimate, up to 750,000 workers could be furloughed each day of the government shutdown, costing them $400 million in pay per day. Federal employees like Terrace Johns with a message for elected leaders.
I hope they would keep in mind, our elected officials, on both sides of the aisle, that we have people that are in these federal jobs helping to make America run.
The federal government last shut down in 2019. The National Guard deployment to Portland is delayed as the troops go through administrative processing and use of force training. President Trump is putting local Guards members under federal control to protect federal facilities. Oregon's state is suing. They say the deployment is not necessary. Oregon Live says this is all costing taxpayers at least $3.8 million. Nurses at Seattle's Children's Hospital say they want better working conditions. Kelsey Gellner was on a picket line yesterday where she told KIRO 7 TV she lost her health benefits while on maternity leave.
Not only was I unpaid, but I had no insurance covered by Seattle Children's.
More than 2,000 nurses represented by the Washington State Nurses Association are in contract talks. The hospital says it is committed to working toward a fair agreement as soon as possible. School bus drivers in Everett are threatening to strike. Their union says members are pushing for pay and benefits that are in line with other districts. Pete Lamb is the president of Teamsters Local 38.
Strike is imminent. We're going to do everything in our power to prevent that.
Lamb tells KIRO 7 TV there's no timetable for a strike, but members already voted to authorize one. The union is still negotiating with the bus operator, Durham School Services. No comment yet from Durham. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 17 points, NASDAQ ahead 80. KIRO News Radio traffic near JBLM. A crash is blocking 2 lanes on southbound I-5 near the Stillicum DuPont Road. You're backed up to Ponders Corner. Travel time Tacoma to Olympia, 70 minutes now, 36 longer than usual. Travel time getting out of the South Sound is improving after earlier crashes. Your Tacoma to Federal Way Drive is 23 minutes, about 10 longer than usual. Construction has you slow eastbound on the I-90 bridge over Mercer Island. Traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing showers with highs in the upper 60s. It's 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
It is Gee Ursula Show. It is now time for another edition of You Be the Judge.
Hold it. What did you say during the morning meeting?
You can strike that from the record. You can strike that from the record. You got to go on what I said today.
I love that intro, Chef. That's so good. Hey, for sports fans, there's nothing more embarrassing than being drowned out in your own stadium by fans of the opposing teams. Y'all know we don't like that, so get this. If you're a Blue Jays fan up in Canada dreaming of seeing your team take on the Yankees in New York, forget about it. Ticketmaster has put a block on Canadian residents buying seats for the playoff games at Yankee Stadium. That's right. Unless your credit card says you live in New York or New Jersey, Connecticut, or Pennsylvania, your order is getting canceled. No tickets for Toronto fans. The Yankees say it's about cracking down on scalpers. Wink, wink. Now, the Jays do something similar at Rogers Center. They only sell postseason tickets to people with Canadian billing addresses. So it cuts both ways. But still, you can imagine how salty Blue Jays fans are. They just won their division for the first time in a decade, and now they're being told they can't even buy a ticket to see their own team play in New York. So question, you be the judge. Is this policy fair? 888-973-5476. Don't you worry, Chef will be monitoring the text messages. Chef, you in the building, man. Is this policy fair?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's your house. You know, you don't have to sell somebody that you don't like tickets to your barbecue, right? And really what this does is it imposes a huge tax on Toronto fans because there's still going to be the same number of tickets that are out there. They're just going to have to buy them through reseller sites. By the way, at I believe it's about 80 cents on the dollar that the Canadian currency is worth. So, yeah, go ahead and tax people. And if they want to show up, then they got to show they have the, I guess, economic fortitude to do so.
I love this. I love this because this will give more people a chance to actually go to that game. This will actually give more Yankee fans a chance to go to that game, a chance to maybe be able to get that ticket like, oh, they were all sold out. I had to go get on the resellers market. No, that Yankee fan will get to do it. And like you said, it cuts both ways. Nick, you cool with this policy? You be the judge.
You know what? I think it's fine. Like Chef said, you don't have to invite anyone you don't want to your barbecue. And if the demand is there for the tickets, then they shouldn't have to worry about the people showing up and selling out because, let's face it, if they didn't want Toronto fans showing up, the punishment's on them if they don't get the fans into the seats.
Speaking of barbecues, Nick, how come you ain't never invited me to a barbecue?
I don't usually have barbecues at my place. I'm usually the one that goes to the barbecue.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, now check this out. Let's come home and go local. UW, they got a totally different approach. Let's talk about what went down at Husky Stadium last weekend. Oh, yes, the Buckeyes won, but, I mean, you knew that. But everybody's been pointing fingers at season ticket holders for selling their seats to Ohio State fans, or saying that Buckeye fans must have bought season ticket packages months ago just to get in the door. I know. There was a lot of red in the building. There was a lot of red all through Seattle last weekend. But here's the bombshell. UW's own athletic department reportedly marketed single-game tickets directly to Ohio State alumni groups 5 months ago. That means while Husky fans were locked into buying season tickets or multi-game packs, them Buckeye fans were getting easy access to prime sections right inside Husky Stadium. I'm talking about. We talking about 100 level. That's why I looked at the stadium. I said to myself, How they get all them good tickets? Now, I've been to a lot of college football games, and I know where the opposing teams usually sit, but I saw a lot of folks in the 100 level, which explains why so much of Husky Stadium was painted that way. Painted all the scarlet red. Fans online are fuming. Some are saying that this is just business as usual in college football. Because, in college football, money talks, fill the seats, no matter who's in them. So, you be the judge. Are you okay with this? 888-973-5476. Chef, are you okay with this?
First of all, is this normal? Because I've never heard of this.
I was today years old. I've never known of this. I've never known of this. This is the first time. Do I understand why it would be possible?
Yeah.
Yes. And here's the thing. Ohio State travels really well. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say, I'll start off. I don't blame you, Dub. The game is the game. We want to make sure that this place is going to be rocking. So we're going to go ahead, open it up. Alumni for Ohio State. Let's make sure this gets bought. And then people here, if the ticket that you have to pay for is a higher premium, that's on you.
I think they did fans dirty. I think they did them totally dirty. Because, first of all, you are telling your own fan base, we don't have confidence that you'll show up for the biggest game on our schedule, our regular season schedule, the entire year.
I kind of disagree with that, though. Now, hear me out. I don't think it was confidence. I don't think that there's anybody, and I'm not even a fan of UW. The one thing I will say about UW and this fan base here, they're going to go to a big game like that. So
then why would they sell the tickets?
Yeah, then that's a fair argument.
Yeah.
If you already know, I know, UW, everybody knows that game was going to be sold out. I might have to side with you. They did do the fans a little dirty because that was going to be sold out no matter what.
Mm-hmm. And they're just forcing the hometown fans to buy scalp ticket prices.
Nick, can I get your opinion on this, sir?
I mean, good for you, Dub, for trying to sell the tickets. At this point, I'm not surprised with the NCAA, with the NIL, the transfer portal, the Pac-12 being dispersed. They know the purpose of what they want, and they're not even hiding it anymore. They're trying to make money. They're trying to sell tickets however they can.
Nick.
They're not hiding it anymore.
You pulled me back in on your side, on this side. They're not.
No.
As a matter of fact, that's 2000. Isn't that 2025?
If Ohio State, if they want to show up, they say, come on in.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, nobody's hiding anything anymore.
No.
Like nobody. Like they're really saying the quiet part out loud in 2025. Like nobody's like, oh, you think that? Yeah. Oh. Hey, honey, how do I look at these jeans? Hey. Coming up next, it's time for Scenarios. Gee Ursula.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO Newsradio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
If you plan to use the carpool lanes along SR 167, you'll soon need a flex pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Search in the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt ductless heat pump system from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Imagine homes so well designed and so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. Now imagine a sale saving $50,000 to $120,000. Stop imagining. Mainview Homes on sale across the Puget Sound.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Oh, what a show. It's been going by so fast. As you guys know, Ursula is on vacation. She'll be back here soon. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We're coming up in 11 o'clock hour. We will talk more about, obviously, the number one news in the United States right now, the government shutdown, and how that has an impact on so many Americans. But right now, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I was married 3 months ago, and it was awesome. My maid of honor gave a wonderful speech in the reception. But I just found out she used ChatGPT to write the whole thing. She bragged to the other bridesmaid that she used it and how great it was, but she's a lifelong friend, and I feel like she should put more time and effort into it. We've known each other for almost 30 years, since we were little kids. Now that I know this, now that she has told bridesmaid and people that were at the wedding that she did her speech through ChatGPT, do I have the right to confront her about it? Should I confront her about it? 888-973-5476. Chef, you have to bat first on this one, bruh.
You crazy? Are you crazy?
I know.
I mean, so first of all, ChatGPT can be very generic if you give it a generic prompt. But I've used it to write anniversary cards, birthday cards to Gabby. And I say okay, here's, 6 different things that I want to highlight in this letter.
Yeah.
Here's the tone I want to set, blah, 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 blah. And it'll come up with something, and then you edit it from there. For people who have writer's block, or you have a procrastination problem, AI is such a great way to get the ball rolling and get you moving. I would have graduated high school if AI was around back then. Because, so many people staring at a blank piece of paper is a really, really daunting task. Where do I start? What do I say? Okay, well, put some inputs in there. And why do you care? Why do you care? Did people react well to it? Did it touch your heart?
Yep.
I mean, the words came out of her mouth. I don't see the big deal.
I'm so glad you said that, and I actually agree with you 100%. I look at what I do here every single day, and I want to share something with you here, because Chef just talked about writer's block and everything like that. When I prepare for the show, even though I make it seem like I don't, when I do prepare, my best preparation, what I do is I take the local and or national topics right before I go to bed at night. And I go and I look at those topics, I read them, and sometimes I don't know, usually with Chef, I'll send out the rundown at nighttime, and sometimes it'll connect, but sometimes there's other stories. But in doing so, the best place for me to write and to have an opinion and my mind is fresh is in the bed. It's weird. The thinking, the way I think, it is so fresh there in the shower. The best thinking I do are in those two places. So when I come to work, by the time I come to work, and you all can ask Chef this, I'm not really focused and concentrated. I'm up talking, walking around. I might be looking at videos on Instagram and all those things. So I kind of get some writer's block as well. But then when I come on the show and the microphone turns on, all of a sudden my brain snaps back again. I do better when I have a blank screen and the microphone is on. And I think it has to do with what I do when I'm not here, when I'm performing all the time. I'm just quick that way. But if right now I had to turn the microphone off and, hey, I need you to write this love letter to Lillian or do all those things, oh my goodness, I would need help.
Yeah.
I would need help.
Absolutely.
It'd be terrible. So, look, if you guys are thinking, hey, should you say something? No, you should say absolutely nothing. You should be grateful that this person took the time to make sure they got it right. It could have been worse. They could have showed up to your wedding and gave you an awful speech. And you just said it. You said it was a wonderful speech. Game over. You win. Brother Nick?
Well, listen, this is a very rare occasion that it doesn't happen every other day in your life. A speech whose writing whose opportunity is given sparingly. So if you're going to go with that ChatGPT to sum up your part of the toasts and good graces for the bride and groom, that's your prerogative. But if it's me, I'm putting a little homemade cooking with it and writing up my own because it's too obvious if it's AI. You got to make it a little tailored at least. Writer's block is writer's block, sure, but you've had a lifetime of memories to come up with this. I think a couple of days, I have faith. I think you're going to figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
Look, you're just saying that because you write songs and stuff, Nick.
Oh, maybe.
Now, before we go, I want to ask this. Have you ever either been in attendance or heard about awful speeches being given? Have you heard about somebody hit the adult beverages a little too hard before they gave that speech, and it was a disaster? Would love to hear about those stories because I have heard about those. As a matter of fact, I saw one of those firsthand, and it was the cringe. Now, as a matter of fact,
was it like a roast, basically?
Yeah, it was
past embarrassing memories.
Yes,
Ooh.
It was bad. It was, put it this way, it was so bad that's really all I can remember of when I think of them getting married, I think about that moment first.
Are they still married?
Yes.
Yeah, don't be memorable in a bad way.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we got a lot going on. We got the 11 o'clock hour happening up Seattle. Seattle has just raised the minimum wage. And just think, somebody is going to be upset about it. We'll talk about all of that next. It's Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This March, Wendy's is fueling the madness with amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave's single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave's single, order in the app. Dave's single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S. and Alaska.
Let's go.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind in the Care Partners Living Difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There was a vote today in the Senate to end the government shutdown. It failed, but CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns reports there may be indications of some sort of compromise.
We've been watching the Senate floor during that last vote, and there was a bipartisan group kind of huddling on the floor. And we have been learning from our reporting that there are discussions underway for an even shorter term bill that might at least get the government back open and have those conversations about health care. Now, these are just preliminary readouts from these huddles, but it does give us a sign that there are conversations happening.
In the meantime, federal workers are caught in the middle. Terrence Johns is a USDA employee in New Orleans. He remembers the last shutdown, which lasted 35 days.
You would think that debt holders would understand, hey, you're on furlough and all of that, but a lot of us had to go out and pick up extra jobs during that time. I hope they would keep in mind, our elected officials, on both sides of the aisle, that we have people that are in these federal jobs helping to make America run.
The political finger pointing continues in Washington. At the White House moments ago, Vice President J.D. Vance.
Our troops are not getting paid starting today because of the Chuck Schumer wing of the Democratic Party.
Democrat Jamie Raskin.
It's day one, but it follows up on 9 months of their efforts to dismantle government services.
The Department of Homeland Security said today ICE agents and Border Patrol officers have arrested what they describe as 800 illegal aliens during Operation Midway Blitz in Illinois. In Memphis, which is preparing for the arrival of federal officers, Nicole Valdez reports it still isn't clear how many.
Now, we know that this federal task force was never meant to be just the National Guard and those boots on the ground, if you will. They are certainly said to be a part of this operation. They could be arriving here within the next 2 weeks, according to the Memphis police chief. But who we do see on the ground today are agencies, about 20 or so of them, and that includes the FBI, the ATF, the DEA.
Israel has issued what it calls a final warning for people to flee Gaza City. The warning coming as Hamas weighs President Trump's plans to end the war. German police shut down Oktoberfest today after a bomb threat and then the discovery of the suspect who had killed himself. Tourists were left wondering what was going on.
A little upset. We came a long way and we're only here for one day. We fly out tomorrow.
Well, a little irritated because we had reservations, but better safe than sorry.
The Oktoberfest fairgrounds have since reopened. On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people
at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
An explosive find in the front of a home. The story coming up. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. In Renton, a disabled vehicle's blocking a lane on I-405 northbound near State Route 169. You're solid back to 167. Near JBLM, a crash is blocking 2 lanes on southbound I-5 near the Stillicum DuPont Road. You're backed up past Ponders Corner now. Travel time Tacoma to Olympia, 80 minutes, 45 longer than usual. Travel time getting out of the South Sound is improved after earlier crashes. Tacoma to Federal Way will take you 19 minutes, 7 longer than usual. Construction has you slow eastbound on the I-90 bridge over Mercer Island. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A 3-year-old boy makes an explosive discovery, a live World War II-era grenade.
The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the child was playing in the family's front yard in the town of Harline when he found, picked up, and carried the grenade into the family's home. Grant County Sheriff spokesman Kyle Foreman says,
unexploded ordnance like that is a problem. An unexploded device, certainly due to its age, made it more unstable.
The Washington State Patrol Bomb Squad carefully moved the grenade to a rural area and safely disposed of it. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Investigators are trying to figure out what caused an explosion that rocked a North Bend neighborhood. It sparked a fire that tore through a home on Maloney Grove Avenue Southeast Sunday. Neighbors tell KIRO 7 TV.
Everybody heard an explosion. The neighbor across the street sent me a text immediately. What was that?
A family of 4 escaped the fire. Firefighters rescued a dog from the 2nd floor. A Kennewick High School student is facing attempted murder charges for allegedly plotting to shoot up a school. Police tell KIRO 7 TV the 14-year-old made detailed plans.
It was a map of Kamaikan High School with identified classrooms where he felt he was going to commit this school shooting.
Police found evidence, including a list of potential targets, following a tip. The student is now in custody. Scam alert. The Thurston County Sheriff's Office is warning that crooks are using stolen credit cards to place massive orders for hay and then trying to resell it online. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Ottley spoke with a victim.
It started in August when a new client started ordering truckloads of hay.
We delivered about 460 bales.
They made 4 deliveries and everything went smooth until, well, it wasn't.
They were fraudulent charges.
All in all, Stephanie Kimball's ranch was out about $10,000, and they weren't the only ones hit. Thurston County sheriffs confirm it is an open case, and they are investigating.
The Seattle Mariners get a sneak peek at their potential playoff opponent.
It's a 2-out RBI single for Spencer Torkelson, and Detroit leads 1-0.
The Detroit Tigers went on to beat the Cleveland Guardians 2-1. The winner of the series comes to Seattle this Saturday for Game 1 of the American League Division Series. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing showers today with highs in the upper 60s. It's 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday, October 1st. That's right. We are in the 4th quarter of 2025. Time to finish up strong. And in football world, we throw up the 4s in a way that means that you're going to dominate the 4th quarter of the year. So just a reminder of that. If you're new to the show, thank you for being here. And if you're always here, a part of the show, thank you for coming back. Means the world. We got a lot to talk about, including 11:30. It'll be agree to disagree. But right now, let's get to the news. For the first time since 2019, the federal government is shut down. Democrats like Senator Mark Kelly say it needs to include health care provisions, telling CBS Mornings that 20 million Americans will see their premiums double.
We want to bring down the cost of health care for Americans. It is going to be unaffordable for millions and millions of people in just 30 days.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says the continuing resolution that the House passed 2 weeks ago would have worked to avoid the shutdown.
The longer this goes on, the more pain will be inflicted because it is inevitable when the government shuts down.
And so here we are right now. The government has shut down, and I'll say this and I'll say it again. I said it in the 9 o'clock hour. This shutdown isn't just politics. I mean, yes, it's politics, but it isn't just politics. This is hitting real people's lives, right? Maybe you know someone in your family. I know for my daughter right now, this is going to her paycheck that's coming up last week. If things don't get resolved, that paycheck will be the last paycheck that she gets for a while. As we all know, essential workers like TSA, those there that are at the airport, this means that they're going to be having to come in to work without pay. Federal workers can go without paychecks. Families waiting on services face delays, and programs like food assistance or housing support can stall. Even, like we said, airports, talking about TSA, air traffic control, staff stretched thin, and every shutdown will cost billions to restart, meaning that taxpayers foot the bill on this. And so the bottom line on this is shutting down the government. It doesn't save money. It just punishes Americans. It punishes us. In this conversation, and I'm almost going on 2 hours of doing this show. I have not one time finger pointed because I don't want to do that. I told you all I'm not looking at the text messages today because I needed to really be focused because this is a very serious thing. Everything that is happening in America right now feels like it is just self-imposed. Is there winning happening yet right now in this country? Every single day I turn this microphone on, we are talking about stress on more Americans. Every single day, inflation's through the roof. It is getting harder and harder for Americans to buy groceries. Gas, unemployment rate is starting to go up. Speaking of inflation, I just saw the news come across that Xbox right now, Xbox is going to be going up on their subscription deal, 50%. So everything that we're talking about seems to be just terrible. We have not had a government shutdown in the United States since back, when the other administration was in again. So again, I'm not trying to point any fingers, just trying to say what is and what is continuing. Hopefully, and again, I'm trying to be hopeful of things, hopeful that things start to turn around a little bit because what is happening is not good. And by the way, the Bloomberg report just changed their jobs created for the month of August. The number of jobs created in August was revised to negative 3,000 from the 54,000 that they reported. So, there's that.
Don't you find it a little interesting that the GOP is suddenly concerned with the wheels of government grinding to a halt when virtually everything that they have done to this point has been about shutting down the federal government, whether it's laying off tens of thousands of workers, stopping funding for things like cancer research for kids with brain cancer in our area, refusing to enforce EPA rules, shutting down investigation of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. Like, there's so many things that they're saying we don't need the government for. Everything should be taken care of on the private market. And at the same time, the Democrats are boneheads right now. I don't know why they backed themselves into this corner. Did I trigger you?
Yes, you did trigger me.
Yeah.
And the reason why you triggered me is because this morning, talking to my daughter, and, and by the way, for anybody that is a federal employee, you know what I'm saying? Like that's rough. Like, it's got to be scary times. And in talking to my daughter, what you just triggered me on is I'm going to make sure I get my words right. I can't stand hearing from Hakeem Jeffries. I can't stand hearing from Chuck Schumer. I never want to hear them talk again. I am sick and tired of them, of doing absolutely nothing. At least make me believe that you are trying to do something. You're just getting slapped around, beat up. And by the way, this has nothing to do with the Republicans or GOP. We know what that is. I'm just talking about them. Like, at some point, man, this is just, and then it always just feels like, well, we're just going to hope, and let's hope that things go right. No, there is no hope. And to what you just said, yes, the government feels like it's been shut down since January 20th of this year. Because there is no more 3 branches of government that is happening right now in this country. So it triggers me is because every single day we're coming in and talking about it. And I remember in January, our text messages used to be filled with your fear-mongering. You're bringing fear. You have no idea what's going to happen. We are just 200 days in, and this is what we got. And just so we're clear about something, because someone said to me yesterday, they says, well, what about the Epstein file? You know what? The Epstein files, at this point, it doesn't matter if he's in it. Nobody really cares. As a matter of fact, speaking of, I want to go to some sound real quick. Ted Cruz, and by the way, this isn't AI, this isn't fake, because I'm going to play this. And when I play this, I still believe that there will be people upset. I still believe there's somebody that's going to agree with what Ted Cruz says. Ted Cruz says that he thinks that there is something that Congress and Americans should come together on.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
Every day, I have to tell you, full transparency. Sometimes it is hard to do this. It's hard because you try to do your best to have an engaging show. You want to give out the news, and you want to try to have some entertainment and intertwine. You know what I mean? Like some of you all listen to us all the time and get you through your work day. And look, sometimes you got to talk about the hard news, and sometimes we have scenarios and would you rather. But some of this news is really hard to discuss. And I got to tell you, and that's why I'm not looking at the text message today. Today is one of those days where it's really hard to talk about the news, because the news that's happening today, this is not a what if. These are people, these are our Americans. And I don't care what side of the politics you are. I don't want anybody to have to miss a paycheck during these times. And it feels like it's always the working class that are being impacted by this. Meanwhile, if you got stock markets, you got real estate and all those things, the top 1-2%, they're fine.
Congress still getting paid.
We're constantly talking. Okay, Chef, you've triggered me enough. Let's come to Seattle. Can we agree on this, maybe? Seattle's minimum wage is going up again. Starting in 2026, workers in the city will have to be paid at least $21.30 an hour, up from $20.76 this year. This applies to all businesses, regardless of size. The carve-out for small businesses where they could count tips and health benefits toward minimum pay expired this year. Seattle already has one of the highest minimum wages in Washington. Right now, Burien is at $21.26, and Tukwila is at $21.20. But unless those cities raise their numbers, Seattle will move into the top spot next year. The increase is tied, obviously, to inflation. Seattle, Tacoma, Bellevue area. Food prices right now, I don't have to tell you, you know better than me. Food prices are up 3.5%. Energy is up more than 7%. This is why when you get your light bill and everything, you say, Larry, what's been going on? Why is our bill going up? It's going up for everyone. Gas prices is up 4%, and you guys know how the gas tax, which I don't agree with as well. And wages still aren't really keeping up with those trends. So a nice thing to do would raise the minimum wage. Now, the bottom line is, when you raise this minimum wage, this isn't about politics. It's about keeping paychecks as close as possible to reality. And when I come in and talk about this news, I'm still reminded about the federal minimum wage that I bring up constantly. And it's a disgrace that the federal minimum wage is still $7.25. And someone listening might say, well, that doesn't matter about the state of Washington. Yes, it matters for everyone. Because there are still 20 states. Only 30 states have took it upon their own to go above $7.25. There are 20 states still that are at or below, or that are at $7.25. Raising the minimum wage requires Congress to pass a new law. Since 2009, when it was raised to $7.25, attempts to raise it to 10, to 12, to 15 have repeatedly stalled because of partisan divides. Now, I'm going to ask you, it stalled because of partisan divides. Who would be against raising the federal minimum wage above $7.25? I'll do more research on that topic, and I'll come back, and I'll tell you at another time. But I didn't do enough research, Chef.
You know, I do have to give you a little bit of pushback on Seattle minimum wage because you do see an impact in restaurants especially. So when we talk about raising the minimum wage, we're talking about usually we need to raise the minimum wage for minimum wage workers. But the reality is in the service industry, there are tens of thousands of tipped workers who are already earning $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year because they get tips on top of that minimum wage. Now, in other states, they have a tipped minimum wage. We had that for a little while in Seattle. That went away entirely. But if you're talking to a restaurant owner or a diner and you're saying, do you want higher prices to give someone who's already making an okay living a raise? Is that a priority? I don't know how most people would respond to that. I know the business owners, it's certainly hard for them. I've worked in kitchens. I saw when Seattle went up to $15 an hour, immediately it made it incredibly hard to find cooks because all of a sudden these people that were making $15 an hour in a kitchen, they're looking at people who stand behind a counter and pass cookies back and forth who are making $12 an hour, and they're like, I could do that. It's easier. I could go jump in a delivery vehicle and get paid minimum wage plus tips. Mm-hmm. And so it does have a disparate impact on the restaurant industry. And it's one of the reasons why you see this fast casual stuff everywhere, right? Where nobody busses your table, where everything's handed to you at a counter and you're still expected to tip. Mm-hmm. And so it does change the restaurant landscape.
Okay. Let's talk about that. So let's just specifically talk about restaurants because I agree with you. This makes it harder on restaurants. I'm never in favor of a restaurant closing its doors. It is hard. As a matter of fact,
happens every day though.
Yeah, we talked about that in Seattle specifically. It is really hard to be a business owner in this town, especially a restaurant business owner, because we had Eduardo Jordan in here that talked about that very thing. Now, if we want to just stay talking about restaurants, okay, let's do that. What do we want to do different for the restaurants then? What do we want to do to help restaurants be able to, so the minimum wage has gone up, we know that they get the minimum wage, do we make a separate deal and rules for restaurants in the state of Washington or in Seattle?
I would not be opposed to some sort of a scaled back tipped minimum wage, right? Like, 16, 18 bucks an hour. You're paying the server 16, 18 bucks an hour. You can keep your food prices or your menu prices a little bit lower. Mm-hmm. The average server in Seattle clears probably $100 a night, for a 5-hour shift. So they're still walking away with, $40 an hour. Something like that. Okay. I mean, if you go to Idaho and you're like, oh my gosh, the food is so cheap here. Well, the reason the food is so cheap is not because they're paying less for the food. It's because they can pay the waitress $2.72 an hour and the people in the back like $10 an hour. Right. That is the whole difference right there.
Okay. So what you just said would make sense for the business owner. The business owner would be like, hey, chef, thank you. If I could just kind of scale back on that. If you are an employee, You don't like what Chef just had to say because you don't want your paycheck messed up. So somebody's going to be mad. Fair?
Sure, of course. Yep.
Fair. You know how I'm always going crazy about tip culture? I'll tell you another reason why. Because this current model that we have, how long you guys think this going to last? This culture, the tip culture and the minimum wage and everything, this is going to go pop. This is when you go to the kiosk and they turn that thing around and you just went to go buy a water and then they start the tip off at 25, 30, and 35%. Like, everything is going to pop at some point. So, Chef, while thank you for pushing back on me, I'll accept your pushback. And I'll tell you, you're right. If you're an employee and you're getting your minimum wage and you're getting your tips, awesome. If you're a business owner, I want you to have relief too. All I'm saying is I believe that they're going to have to make some different type of stipulations for restaurants because either way, all of this is going to go away, baby. I go to these different little restaurants and maybe on a Friday night, I go to get some food. When I go in there, they're ghost town. But guess who's coming in and out? People with DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that. Filled with that. The model is starting to change. Restaurant owners right now are feeling the burden of people just wanting that DoorDash culture.
Yep.
So your pushback, thank you for pushing back on me.
At the very least,
yes,
it should give people some thought. Like, should I still tip 25%?
Come on.
I don't want to take away anyone's money, but you got to watch your pocket too.
Yeah. Good stuff, Chef. Coming up next, see what Chef has cooking. We'll do agree to disagree. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. KIRO Newsradio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO Newsradio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Lowe's knows how to help make your home holiday ready for less. Get Select Style Selections vinyl flooring for just $1.99 per square foot and have it installed before the festivities begin. Our team can help you every step of the way. See a Lowe's Red Vest associate or visit Lowe's.com/holiday install to get started. Lowe's, we help, you save. Basic install only. Date restrictions apply. Subject to availability. Installed by independent contractors. See associate for details. Contiguous U.S. only.
Are you happy with how you're feeling these days?
Are you slowing down physically or mentally? Ever wonder what your life will be like 10 to 15 years from now? Most of us don't really know how we're aging or if we can even do anything about it. But here's the truth. Knowledge is power, and that's exactly where we start at Longevity Medical Clinic. We run advanced diagnostics to find out what's really going on inside your body, and then we create a personalized hormone and health optimization plan designed specifically to help you live better starting now. Our patients are often amazed by what they discover in their blood work, and even more amazed at how quickly they start to feel like themselves again. This isn't guesswork, it's science, it's personal, and it works. Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better today and every day after that.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the comfort people at homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch. The federal government has shut down.
The longer this goes on, the more pain will be inflicted.
House Speaker Mike Johnson on the failure of Congress to pass a budget. Army veteran Alonzo Sermons.
These are real things in the lives of people. You have this affecting their finances.
CBS's Michael Wallace has more on the impact.
The TSA is warning of travel delays. Its agents are still working, but without pay. National parks remain partially open, but sites that require staffing, like Smithsonian museums and the Washington Monument, are closed. Food banks should be okay for now. Brian Green is president of the Houston Food Bank.
But if it starts to get to the point later in November when the benefits are also not coming in, where people are not receiving SNAP, et cetera, it will be overwhelming.
Social Security and Medicare payments will still be made. The mail will still be delivered. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The National Guard deployment to Portland has been delayed as the troops go through administrative processing and use of force training. President Trump is putting local Guards members under federal control to help protect immigration centers and other federal buildings. Oregon State is suing, saying the deployment is simply not necessary. Oregon Live says this is all costing taxpayers at least $3.8 million. Nurses at Seattle's Children's Hospital are pushing for better pay and benefits. Kelsey Gellner was on a picket line yesterday where she told KIRO 7 TV she lost her health benefits while on maternity leave.
I'm the one providing the care to these kids most of the time, and my kids weren't covered.
More than 2,000 nurses represented by the Washington State Nurses Association are in contract talks. The hospital says it is committed to working toward a fair agreement. School bus drivers in Everett say they're ready to walk off the job if they don't get a new contract. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha spoke with members of the Teamsters Union.
They say a strike is a possibility because negotiations with their employer, Durham School Services, have broken down, and the company walked away from bargaining.
If we don't have something that we can take back to our members and get this thing done, it's imminent.
There is no reference on the Everett School site to a potential strike impacting bus service. The drivers say they want compensation and benefits that align with what other districts are giving drivers.
No comment yet from the bus operator. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 71 points, NASDAQ ahead 99. This weather update. Oh, let's go to Dave Connors. He's in the traffic center.
There I am, Global Credit Union with our quick update. There's a couple big backups on the map right now. Let's start you with our one in Tiger Mountain. It's a disabled vehicle blocking eastbound 18 at Raging River, which is about 1.5 miles west of I-90. Eastbound drivers, you're in a 5-mile bumper-to-bumper backup starting near Issaquah Hobart Road. Westbound 18 is heavy from I-90. In JBLM, South 5 is jam-packed from Bridgeport Way just past the main gate. That's a 6-mile backup. As far as I can tell, this is a residual backup from an earlier crash near the main gate. I'm not seeing any blocking problems right now. Tacoma to Olympia, 1 hour and 20 minutes, a 45-minute delay. And our new normal backup northbound 167 through Pacific, delaying that trip by about 15 minutes. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing showers with highs in the upper 60s. It's 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It's the Gee Ursula Show. Happy October 1st. It's the fourth quarter of the year. When I say fourth quarter of the year, what do you think? What is your plan to finish up the rest of this new year? Are you going to get it started now, or do you plan to wait until January 1st? All right, let's get right to it. Agree to disagree. Brought to you by Garden Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
So Hollywood is flipping out about something or someone called Tilly Norwood.
Okay, Tilly.
She is a fully AI-generated actress built in the Netherlands. If you look her up on Instagram, she looks like pretty much any other up-and-comer. She's young, she's pretty, she's got the headshots.
Yeah.
She does comedy sketches. There are some scenes of her online. And the studio that created her says that she's actually, or they are in contract talks with some movie studios to get her real work with a fake character. Mm-hmm. SAG-AFTRA, that's the actors union, says that this is theft. And they say you can't just scrape the work of real performers and squish it together in a program and call it talent. Mm-hmm. Vanity Fair says this could be the end of the movie industry as we know it. What do you think about AI actors?
It's coming. I think about AI actors the same way. By the way, Paul Holden is going to be proud of me right now. The same way I think about the video game world. Oh, is there anybody that plays video games that listens to the show? Matter of fact, the last time I asked that question, y'all went crazy telling me everybody's playing the video games. Right now, in the video game world, they saw $134.9 billion in global sales in 2018. That was in 2018. Now today, oh my goodness, crazy billions of dollars. So the same way we sit down and we play video games and we say, oh my goodness, these video games are so real. It's so real and it's enjoyable. As a matter of fact, I don't play video games anymore. I used to play a lot. But if you're playing video games, I can actually watch you. It's actually kind of cool to watch video games. It's kind of the graphics and everything. So who am I to believe that day isn't coming where it's going to be actors? Oh, that day is for sure coming for people like me in my field. The only thing holding me on is AIG Scott can't go pull up to Federal Way and go and hang out with some people and actually be connected AI G Scott can't go to the Seahawk game this Sunday and actually perform and work. That's the only thing that's catching that I'm good on. But if AI G Scott shows up and he's here, he's definitely going to have way more knowledge than me. He's going to be quicker than me. He's going to be able to give you all the stats. The only difference is that you know that AI G Scott can't connect. So when it comes to the movies, it's coming. Buckle up. Your thoughts?
I don't really have a problem with it because I feel like so much of Hollywood is utterly fake anyways.
Okay.
I mean, how many movies do you watch these days where at least 50% of it isn't AI generated or it isn't generated in a computer studio somewhere? All the extras that are in the stadium scene, they're not real now. The monster that they're fighting on the floor of the stadium, that's not real. Entire movies are shot with actors who never put on a costume. They're in green screen the entire time. And I don't like that Hollywood. I don't like the way it is turned into just a computer animation industry. And so if you want to make your action flicks with AI actors, great. They can probably do a better job than Chris Pratt. I don't need to watch Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever series he's in. He's not that good. What? You're saying time out.
Time out, dog. Time out. Yo, I hope y'all don't get. Well, y'all used to get mad at me. I don't get the Chris Pratt. I don't get it. Like every time I see him, I'm like, yo, whatever used to happen to the action heroes. Yo, I grew up on Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. I grew up on Sylvester Stallone in Rambo, First Blood, all that stuff. Chris Pratt? Really? And by the way, Jurassic Park is real.
Yeah, totally.
Those are real dinosaurs.
I saw the water move.
That's real dinosaurs.
The other thing is like people want authenticity these days. Like you can gravitate to something strictly for its entertainment value, but if it doesn't have authenticity, does it mean the same?
No, it doesn't. It does. Again, the only thing that's saving me, and look, at some point it's going to go away. At some point, the next generation, maybe my granddaughter and her friends, they are not going to care that the person that they're listening to maybe eats at the same restaurant or their kids go to the same. They're not going to care about that. They're like, look, I want my news. I want it accurate. Right? I don't want an opinion. I don't want a trumped up G. Scott all on coffee. I don't want anybody that's very political, one-sided. I want my news this way. And think about that for a second. There's going to be a time where, I mean, we already are in our silos and we only watch Fox News or we only watch MSNBC. It's going to get more crisp than that. There's going to be ways that you only, like, you could say, hey, I want my algorithms to be this. I want my TV shows to be that. And this is what I do. And you're going to live in your own silo, to which I say, that'll happen after I'm gone. Thanks, but no thanks. I never want to live in a world like that. I always want to live in a world where I have people that disagree with me. I have people that I disagree with, and that even though we disagree, that's where you learn. That's where you learn. You know, I was thinking about something, Chef. I don't mean to go on a tangent, but I was thinking about diversity. You know that D word that's used these days that some people don't like? You don't like diversity. I thought about diversity for a second. I thought about you, Chef. I thought about Aaron Granillo out there. And I was thinking about diversity. Like, who really has a hard time with that? Because if you look at the world, the world is a very diverse place. If you look at the United States is a diverse place. Like, diversity should be a beautiful thing. But I was thinking, who has a hard time with diversity? And I want to take up. I'm going to take this time to take up for people that have a hard time with diversity. I get it. I totally get it. If you don't grow up around diversity, if you don't go to school around diversity, if you don't work with someone on a daily basis that maybe comes from a different background or culture, I can understand why diversity seems like such a troubled word. And I'm not, if you grew up in a small town and you found out your information about, watch this, those people by TV, or you found out about those people through your uncle. You found out about those people on this news network. It is easier to understand diversity when you grow up around, when you go to school around. My man, Aaron Granillo. I rock with Aaron Granillo. Aaron Granillo went to Chief Sealth, baby. It's easier for him because he went to school in it. So I had to get to the diversity part because that diversity word seems to be tough for so many. Matter of fact, sometimes when you hear diversity, sometimes some folks cringe, like, oh, I don't know about that. But diversity is a beautiful thing all the way around. Text messages. No, I'm not doing text messages. I can't stand text messages. I'm not looking at the text line today. So, Chef, you need to cook up something else for us to do. We'll come back. It's Gee and Ursula.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
If you're a veteran struggling with your monthly bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage has some good news for you.
Rates have dropped recently, and this could be a great time for our veterans to think about a cash-out refinance to get out of your high-interest rate debt. For example, one of our clients had a 2.25% VA loan, but he owed more than $155,000 on credit cards and a home equity loan. So we paid off all of that debt and replaced his mortgage with a VA cash-out refinance. And the new VA loan saved him $1,268 per month. So give us a call and see if a VA cash-out refi can help save you money. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you can help non-veterans as well.
That's right. If you have a conventional loan, we'll run the numbers and see if we can help save you money, too.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts, Best Mortgage. Call now, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
We've got a style of play no one wants to go up against. Big hits that turn the tides in our favor. Noise that shakes opponents to their core.
That was 112 decibels in that last tackle.
Disruption is in our DNA.
It's intercepted! Seahawks ball! Interception made by Love!
Celebrating 50 seasons of Seahawks football.
Break back, throws it! Touchdown! Touchdown Seahawks!
Visit Seahawks.com/tickets today.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
This is Gee Ursula Show. What's happening, y'all? I hope you're having a good Wednesday. It's October 1st. And it's the fourth quarter of the year. It's probably the fourth quarter in college football and high school football. When it's the fourth quarter, we throw the fours up, Nick. We throw the fours up. It's the fourth quarter,
I've
baby.
seen that before.
Come on now. That means you'll claim you're going to win the fourth quarter. But, hey, you know, I was walking out, and I like to tell you guys what goes on behind here. And I was getting ready to walk out. I'm done with coffee for the day. And Chef goes, hey, I got a little pushback. And by the way, I love it when Chef goes, a little pushback. And what happened was, if you were here in the last segment, I was talking about diversity, the word diversity. And I talked about how sometimes if you grew up in a small town and you see the diversity, not saying that you can't understand diversity if you do come up in a small town. I'm just saying usually it is easier for those that come up maybe in the inner city because they're around diversity, they understand it more. And then Chef says, I got a little pushback on you. Chef, what you got?
Well, you were asserting that so long as you're around people that are different than you, you'll have a better perspective.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from where I grew up in Edmonds, obviously not very diverse. My best friend was black growing up for like 20 years. The thing is, I never thought of him as black because I'm like, he's not black. My Asian friends, I was like, oh, they're just my friends, but they're not them. Because you can still have this perspective of, this is a person I know, but then this is how they're portrayed in the media or on television or whatever it is, and have entirely different thoughts that don't converge at all with your own personal experience with someone of another race or culture or whatever it is. And I don't know how to fix that. But I don't think I don't think you can really get over that until you're able to have honest conversations with people about your differences. Because I never talk to my buddy about hey man, I know that when the cops come to the party at the high school parties, they always go to you first for some reason. What's up with that? What's it like growing up like this, or, you know, my Asian friends, like, hey, like culturally, what's really weird for you that we Americans do? We didn't ever have those honest conversations, and I don't think you can understand other people until you get to that level of trust.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That pushback is for sure. I like how you were very honest about that with your best friend, right? Here's your best friend, and you're like, yeah, that's my best friend. He's black, but he's not like, right?
He's not black.
He's not
right?
black.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you say that because I tell you guys a story all the time about a very specific story when I was at the house of the young gal and the parents and the grandparents and the granddad said, hey, well, you know, you're not like the rest of these black people. I like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I was in 8th grade at the time. So in 8th grade, when I heard him say that, I took that as a compliment, right? I don't want you guys to think that I was offended during that time, right?
Yeah.
I was a compliment. Oh, he's telling me that he likes me, right? And then now when I look back on that, and I look back at a lot of conversations that I've had those situations that you're talking about. Example. Wow, you're really well spoken. Wow, you're pretty articulate with your words. They don't mean it, but it just lets you know that sometimes they lead with that. Like sometimes when they talk about Doug Baldwin and Richard Sherman, the first thing they lead with, hey, those are Stanford grads.
Yeah, because the way they present is the opposite of the stereotype in their mind. Yeah.
Boom. Words to live by, Chef. What you got?
All right, in honor of Marcus and Glenn Galen visiting us in studio today, and that incredible act of kindness and giving away a 60th home run ball worth maybe $200,000, by the way.
Yeah.
The Buddha says happiness never decreases by being shared. Share your happiness, y'all.
Oh, share your happiness. Thank you. Because Glenn, Galen, and Marcus were here, definitely some happiness. All right, Brother Nick, what's up, man?
Well, a special moment came full circle on the show today after that baseball scene round the world found its rightful place to stay, and it wouldn't have been possible without Glenn's mighty heart, whose good vibes relayed on with Marcus doing his good part.
That's what friends are for.
And luckily, the Mariner fans were flooding through the seats instead of people from the road team taking all our meat. If it were Yankee Stadium, though, or even Husky Stadium, that might have been a different story. So thank you, T-Mobile Park.
Oh, good stuff. All right. Great show today. Really grateful for you all that hung out with the show. Some of the news today was tough, but hey, when has there ever been a time in America that we have not had tough news? We had tough news yesterday. We had tough news today. There'll be tough news tomorrow. Nobody's perfect. This country ain't perfect. Nobody's family's perfect. But you keep fighting. And you come back the next day and you do it all over again. The Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. We will be back tomorrow. Appreciate you rocking with us. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be on your side forever.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Saturday, October 4th through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Saturday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Amazon, or at newnordicusa.com.
KIRO